The master interrupter strikes again. I apologize to interrupt your networking here. We have plenty of other options to continue those great conversations as we go here. But today, I want to recognize a quickly, fastly becoming veteran of our summits, Adam Greenhood, who's with AdWallet. Adam's the CEO and founder of the company, and has a very interesting spin on how to make money in just the world in general. So I want to let him elaborate further, but please welcome, big round of applause, Adam Greenhood. Adam?
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Like John said, my name is Adam Greenhood. I'm the CEO and founder of a brand new media channel that, frankly, for the past 18 months has been operating in stealth, and as of a month ago, started scaling all over the country. Before I started AdWallet about 2 years ago, I was a career creative director, actually, for 20 years, and I worked on brands like Taco Bell, Nissan, PlayStation, and I did what most creative directors, frankly, do about 2.5 years ago. I had my feet up. I was taking an obnoxiously long lunch. I was surfing the web. I was contemplating my next fight with with my media planner and media director in the agency. And as I was surfing the web, I saw this slide. And it made me laugh, which it will make you laugh, and it made me throw up in my mouth a little bit, because it's true. And it's something that on the creative side of advertising we know, on the media side of advertising we know. The bottom line is absolutely nobody woke up today on planet Earth saying, I can't wait to see an ad. The structure of our entire industry is based on interrupting someone while they're trying to pay attention to content, something they're on the journey to do. In sweeps the ad, and we're trying to elegantly, swiftly take some of that attention while they're trying to do something else. We all know this. And everybody in this room, like we just saw some of the presentations today, are rock stars at trying to overcome that constant challenge that all of us had, no matter what medium you use. How big a problem is not paying attention? Well, about 50% of all ads go completely unseen. This is Google's estimation of all digital ads last year. 1 out of 2 were actually even noticed by someone. That equated into about $65 billion a year. To put a little meat on that bone, Google made about $120 billion last year. Half of it, they freely admit, ads that ran, that sort of, a tree that fell in a forest that absolutely nobody was there to see. Right? So we all struggle with this core problem, which is ad avoidance. Like I said, nobody's trying to see an ad, no matter how brilliant, how creative, how strategic. It's always when they're on the way to something else. And everybody in this room, this won't be a surprise to anybody in this room, cord cutting continues to explode. That's people saying, I don't want to see ads. Half of all computers now have some ad blocking software loaded on them. So even when your ads are being played, they're just coming up as gray boxes. And of course, there's still an enormous amount of digital bots and fraud that, yes, our digital partners are getting much better at identifying, but being on the agency side before starting AdWallet, I know how awkward that conversation can be with your clients, which is, we tried to spend this amount of money, they gave it back to us because they found the fraud, and your client's saying, that's really great, but I'm trying to spend the money. I'm on the hook to get it out there. This is the current advertising industry, oversimplified, but this is the basic premise. As an advertiser, you're holding an enormous amount of money, or not such an enormous amount of money. You're going to spend that money, hopefully, skillfully, and elegantly across a variety of different mediums in the hopes of hitting your key target and creating an action from them. AdWallet's premise is fairly simple. What if you were to remove the middleman? What if, as an advertiser, you were holding a certain amount of money, and in the end, you're trying to buy attention? We're all attention peddlers. But what if you could buy that attention directly from someone, actually make a media buy directly against an actual addressable person, pay them the money for their attention, which is what you've been trying to buy, we've all been trying to buy for 100 years, rather than necessarily running an ad within content. Which leads you to this basic premise, right? Wait, do you mean pay people to watch ads? Are you crazy? Because you can go very quickly from that idea to this guy, which is, all right, we're all going to sit at home, and we'll pretend to click on things and pay attention to things, and we'll make a little penny every time we do. Right? So the real question for me in starting AdWallet, as I literally walked out of my agency 2 years ago, raised some money, and started AdWallet, was how do we actually buy real attention without it degenerating into that? Right? How do you effectively reward someone for their verified attention to your message without making it a stupid game? This is where we started at AdWallet, a fairly simple premise. Well, it seemed simple at the time. What if an ad wasn't an interruption, but an invite? What if it was a gift? And frankly, on the creative side, being a creative director, I used to use this all the time in trying to explain the creative of advertising. Let's make it so inviting, so smart, so elegant, so funny, that it will feel like you're leaning into it. It's an invite, not an interruption. That still works, as proven by Burger King and others today. Great creative is a great way to get someone to pay attention and lean in. But I'm talking on the media side, the actual delivery of an ad becoming a gift. And this is how AdWallet works. AdWallet was really designed as a whiteboard of the entire media process, saying, hey, if we're going to buy someone's attention, if we were to skip the world, what would we want and what would we pay for it effectively? So AdWallet was launched 2 years ago. Like I said, it's been in beta test up until last month, and now it's scaling all over the country. AdWallet is fairly simple. You go to download an AdWallet. It's an app, and the first thing it does, it says, who are you? If you want Burger King and McDonald's and Taco Bell and Lexus to start paying you instead of publishers for your attention, we need to know a lot of things about you. So everybody on AdWallet immediately takes a 150 to 200 point survey about themselves. This is their digital identity. And this is the first party data, CCPA, GDPR, complied information that all of you now have to target this individual. They're literally saying, here I am. You can use this data right here to send me an ad on AdWallet. After they're done filling it out, the next morning they literally get a text. It looks like this, cha-ching. You have one new ad in your AdWallet. You have 3 days to watch it before it disappears. Now the consumer is going to decide when they have time to lean in and actually watch whatever you want them to watch, not you. And if they don't do it in 3 days, it literally gets taken out of their AdWallet. They lose the opportunity. You pay nothing. If I click on that ad within the first 3 days, as you can see, that's what an AdWallet looks like inside. If I click on the video, I open it up on my phone, just like we're accustomed to watching anything on our phone. And as an advertiser, you just bought, actually it says 45 seconds, up to a minute of my undivided attention.
How can we say when you book direct at choicehotels.com, you always get the lowest price in our rooms, guaranteed?
Let's get someone to say it with a really low voice. Carl?
Lowest price guaranteed.
What about the world's lowest limbo stick?
How low can you go?
Nice one, Carl.
Hey, I've got an idea. Just say bada book, bada boom.
Bada book, bada boom.
Nice.
Always the lowest price, guaranteed. Book now at choicehotels.com.
Choice Hotels is one of our partners. Great, we ran an ad and they have total flexibility to run up to a minute. Anybody can do that. At the end of that ad, it asks a question of that member to prove that they actually paid attention to the ad. This is key. Originally, the question was designed to prove that they actually paid attention, meaning we're seeing lots of stuff as we walk through the world, but really, could you just tell me what you saw? So as an advertiser, you have the opportunity to write your questions. What happens when you book directly through Choice Hotels? You'll get you'll get the lowest price guaranteed. A low voice will echo from the heavens, bada book, bada boom. You'll probably get screwed, just go to Expedia. The member has to answer the question correctly. If they don't answer the question correctly, AdWallet just says, I'm sorry, that's the wrong answer. You have to watch the entire ad again. We're going to ask you the same question. We mean it. If we're going to pay you, you better be able to tell us the single most compelling thing that was about. And as a creative director, hat on, it would have been, I remember the joke. But as the advertiser and the client and the media function, it would be, yeah, but you got the joke. But like, who was it for? Was it for Choice Hotels or Red Roof Inn? Or I can't remember. Who cares? It was funny. We also found a very interesting thing about asking a question of someone to prove they paid attention. When you're asked a question about something, suddenly your synapses start to fire. You remember it. We had an independent research survey done that found that when someone watches an ad on AdWallet and is asked a question once, they then remember it and see that ad everywhere. It's a lot like the same function of when you buy a car, suddenly you think everybody's got that car. It's not that, right? You're finally paying attention to that car, and it's just pulled itself out of the ether to you. And to prove this point, I want everybody to close their eyes right now. Go ahead, close your eyes. If everybody closes their eyes, I'm going to ask you a really easy question. Should be easy. On the left side of the stage, we have posters everywhere of sponsors. What was the poster up on the left side of the stage, closest to myself? Okay, probably the Pinterest folks are the ones who were able to answer that. Pinterest, right? And AdWallet's right there. But be honest with yourself. How many of you actually came to mind? And again, it's the function of you've had 3 hours to stare at these posters. But when I just called out Pinterest, that focused your attention. A week from now, if I asked you, what is that poster on the left side of the stage of that conference you can barely remember anything from, you'd remember Pinterest because it focused your attention. At the end of the question, if they get it right, they get paid 50 cents for answering the question correctly and watching your up-to-minute video. The member then gets to identify whether they like the ad or not. We have a lot of agencies that are A/B testing different types of creative. You're getting all this data back instantaneously. The member's also asked, would you like to engage in this brand in the next 30, 60, 90 days, or never? Hey, you bought my attention, but you didn't necessarily buy my sale. Again, if they answer anything that they're interested in the engagement, you can then retarget them on AdWallet. If they say never, then there are other opportunities that they're not availed to, basically, because they have no interest in your brand. Would you like to download an exclusive offer from Choice Hotels? Yes or no? Again, they're not monetized to do this. It's like, you bought my attention. I actually care about this thing. Now you're giving me an opportunity to really engage in it. We were talking about at our breakout session, we were talking about how do you manage, I want to say the big brand message. I think it was a gentleman from Firehouse Subs. I want to be able to talk about, in the case of Firehouse Subs, broadly that a certain percentage of your order goes to, help, firemen and first responders. But I also want to be able to talk about, hey, it's also 2 for 1, more tactically, come in and buy a sub. This system allows you to do all of that at the same time. Would you like to share this ad for an additional 25 cents on your social media? 40% of our members will take that bet. So for an extra 25 cents, they will literally share your video on their social media. This is a third-party endorsement of the funny Burger King ad or the funny so on and so forth. They get to write the message, and the link at the bottom takes them right back to your site. If you wish to extend this engagement with this member, you can ask them to choose to reveal their verified email to your brand directly for additional money. They then opt in for you, yes or no. You then get that email along with that person's interested in the next 30 days, and you can then, of course, put that into your CRM system. Also, you can attach an 18-question research survey to this experience. 98% of our members will finish that 1 to 2 minute research survey, 18 simple questions. Tell us a little bit more about the brand. That's the offer I downloaded from Choice Hotels. It stays in my AdWallet on my person for as long as the advertiser wishes. I can click the link, I can go to visit the site, I can use it like Groupon, and we, of course, track that actual engagement all the way through to the end. Finally, if the member said they have any interest in a brand, they're automatically at the end pivoted to your website where, of course, you can retarget them all you want. This basically becomes a full click. Once they've earned enough money, they can redeem their cash directly to PayPal, make it a gift card, push it to a local charity, or push it to their bank. This is cash. This is literally the media buy that you just bought their attention with and skipped the world. So what happens when you reward your customer for their attention rather than rewarding a publisher for an ad? I know there's a lot of publishers in the room. I'm not trying to pick on you. You're all still great. But this is an element to the mix. This is actually what just happened. Just like anything, when you cut out the middleman, costs go down and engagement goes up. Yes, that's what a pay-per-click might cost in these systems. That's what a cost per engagement costs on our system, and you just did everything I showed you. Peeling back the onion, what just really happened with that experience? Well, you use first-party CCPA, GDPR, fully compliant data. You got 100% view through at a level that's not really experienced right now anywhere in the world, which is not just in the ad play. It was proven that someone watched it, answered a question about it. That was the view. You collected their first-party intent, which allows you to retarget them further. 40% might share your ad on social media. Another 34%, on average, will reveal their verified email to you, where you can reach back out to them after the experience. 98% took the survey, and about 92% will be pivoted all the way to the end website you'd like them to. About 8%, on average, will say, I have no interest in your brand. Don't send me to the website. Being a creative director, I had a really hard time looking at full disclosure, at a lot of your unbelievably complicated spreadsheets as media people. So another goal of mine was to create unbelievably simple reporting. And actually, reporting becomes very easy when you're suddenly making a media buy on an individual rather than through a third-party medium. Because suddenly, you're not trying to compare apples and oranges. You're literally talking to these exact people. Your ad only went to the people you wanted it to be. You only paid when they actually did something. In the last 18 months, we've been very lucky. We had a lot of national brands, local, regional brands, testing AdWallet, playing with it kind of to see how does this work. The results have been amazing, I'm very proud to say, which has allowed us to now begin our scale across the country. Simple to buy on AdWallet. You basically are buying credits on AdWallet. You launch your campaigns. Once those campaigns are running, you basically pay per engagement. So that money is deducted directly from your budget. What can you use AdWallet for best? There's 3 things actually people are using AdWallet very effectively. Ad engagements, so long format video, all those great, beautiful movies that your creative teams have made, but you only get 6 seconds usually, or 15 seconds. Now you got a minute, or 47 seconds. You can use the director's cut. You have fought my full attention. I'm not going anywhere. There's a question at the end. You also can buy social media shares, not views, third-party endorsement shares. That is not available anywhere else in the world. We've also found we're an excellent impression magnification machine, meaning once you see an ad once on AdWallet, all of the other impressions that you're buying, lighter impressions, if you will, on linear TV or OTT or wherever they may be, are heightened. That's actually why that created a partnership between us and a large linear TV network, Nexstar. They found that when you pair AdWallet with a more traditional TV buy, all of those impressions just got elevated enormously. You paid attention to it once, now you're seeing the car that you bought everywhere. And then, of course, creative A/B testing. For some of the larger clients, it's, I want to run a campaign on AdWallet, instantly see these 3 different pieces of creative. What was the reaction to them? Let that inform your much larger linear TV buy, much larger national buy outside of AdWallet. Research, obviously, we're very good at research, as I just explained. Lead generation, some of you are interested in that, some aren't. We're unbelievably good at getting someone's verified email. You bought it. And then attribution, we have a custom attribution pixel. So any one of you can put that on your site. Not only will we tell you who went to your site or were pushed to your site at the end of the AdWallet experience, how many actually bought, how many actually downloaded the app, how many actually engaged, getting beyond that last pixel attribution issue, how many came back and really came through AdWallet. Why am I here today? Because we've been testing this little toy, frankly, on 50,000 people in the weird place, Albuquerque, New Mexico, the digital hub of the world. It's been very exciting, but basically all we get from national brands are, this is unbelievable, when is this getting bigger so we can actually spend through it? That's happening right now. We just doubled our audience in the last 30 days. We now have 100,000 members in all 50 states. And our goal is by the end of the year to have 1 million members and then, of course, to continue beyond. The reason I'm here is because we're a venture-backed company, and I have our partners and our financial partners want to be able to see that some of the largest brands in the world and any brand in this room is interested in trying AdWallet, seeing the results, and after those results, interested in leaning in further if you're interested. So for anybody in this room, this is good for any of you in this room. We're offering a free $10,000 trial. That's our money. And this is real money, remember. This is not impressions. This is $10,000 that's actually been given to your targeted audience to engage in your ad. If you take the trial in the next 60 days, you'll unlock a $100,000 dollar-for-dollar match against your media buy on AdWallet for the entire 2020 year. So take the trial. It's free to you. You have nothing to lose. It's actually me to lose. After that, we're happy to match you dollar for dollar in 2020. Again, we're trying to build a relationship, start a relationship with some of the brands in this room to see how this works. We're sure that once you see how it works, you're going to be blown away by the KPIs and hopefully evolve a relationship. At the end of all this, this is sort of the feeling that people have after running on AdWallet versus advertising. Advertising is complicated, it's messy, it's hard to measure, it's incredibly hard to figure out whether that impression actually created a CPA. On AdWallet, things get very simple when you actually start using the same money, in fact, a lot less, to pay the end consumer for their attention. That's what we're trying to buy in the first place. Thank you very much. Actually, I'd like to mention this idea of paying for attention. This presentation just cost me $25,000. Let's borrow your attention, not at the AdWallet, low rate of $1 a minute. But when you really figure it out, again, this idea of paying for attention. I spent $25,000. I had 20 minutes to speak to you. Let's call it $150 a person between friends. Was it a worthwhile spend for me? Every single time, I think John mentioned it, we've done this 5 times. When we walk out with 2 or 3 clients, $25,000 was a smoking deal. This idea of your attention is valuable. Everyone's attention is valuable in this room. Value it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Adam. And Adam bought that from me, the $25,000, so I was totally paying attention.
Yeah,
just so you know. I was totally paying attention. Any questions for Adam before we let him go? It's, got time here for the next couple of days, but anyone, any specifics? You usually get 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Okay, too good to be true. Okay, wait, hang on. Let's see what you got. Let us know who you are and where you're from.
Hi, I'm Allison from Salt and Straw. I'm curious the type of people that you're getting, sort of the profile of the people that are signing up, and how you think that will change with your million target.
Yeah, that's a great question. To your point, we didn't know. When we started, we're like, I don't know, like a bunch of college kids are looking for a little extra beer money. Is this for people who don't have any money and want to watch ads and try to make money? Who is it for? What we found, it's actually for everybody. I was more than happy for that target to be the target. What we found is it is literally a cross-section of people. The defining characteristic of someone who enjoys AdWallet is, I think it's time for my data and my attention to be valued by, if advertisers are out there paying everybody else for my attention and my data, they should be paying me. And that's actually how, when we go get new members, that's the sell, which is, you understand, everybody in this room, we're all paying about $250 billion a year to buy the attention, the addressable attention of everybody. How much of it was spent on you directly? Like directly. And so that's usually the case. And so to your point, on AdWallet, when you go on as an advertiser, you get to select, I want 34-year-old moms who have 2 kids and live in this zip code and have 2 pets. Great, that's perfect for you. Or in your case, love ice cream. That goes back to all those 200 data points that we have, first-party data on everybody. So you pluck out the audience that you care about. I will say that ironically, it's more men than women. It's about 60-40 men. It's about 18 to 45. That's sort of the heart of it. You're all looking for where millennials are. They want to be paid for their attention. They want to be respected. Men who typically you would not suggest like to live on their phone and use apps on their phone, they like this idea.
Right here.
Hi, Jason Downey from Lotame. What % of the value chain of that data is yours versus the client's, as far as like when the profile's created, 150-point survey and all that, right, and then the email, and like how does that get split up? And are you going to be thinking about monetizing your kind of totally declared, really high quality data as you go forward?
Great question. So when the question, if you didn't hear, was how much is our data and how much do we get to share? On AdWallet, the advertiser has full discretion to use all the data that we have captured for targeting. So it's sort of shared. We will not package it up in a suitcase and send it to you. Part of the interest of AdWallet is people saying, hey, I gave you these 150 data points, 200 data points. It grows every day. We ask new questions. I'm giving you permission to use this data to send me an ad directly on AdWallet. I'm not giving you permission to suitcase it up and send it across the world. That's what everybody doesn't like. On the email, however, and now we're actually going to be offering, would you like to sell your verified cell phone number for a certain price? That is yours. So that's a member saying, I understand that if I get paid $1 for this email or my cell phone number, I'm giving it to Burger King. Burger King now owns it. They have the right to reach out to me. It's completely compliant. I understand that I am trading with you. I'm part of the value exchange. It's including them on the value exchange. So to your point, certain elements are literally transferred to the advertisers. Others are, you can use it for targeting on our system only.
Okay. Viv?
Hi. Like, how do you deal with like competing brands? So if you're showing a Choice Hotel ad and Hotels.com, for example, want to advertise, it's obviously the same audience, right? That's going to have to view the same ad. So how do you deal with that, and what's the frequency management?
That's a great question. So you're asking, how do we deal with competitive brands and frequency management? When we first started AdWallet, right, the inclination, even our investors were, oh my God, well, let's just send as many ads as we can a day. I mean, let's monetize the absolute heck out of this. I'm going to send you 50 ads a day, and you'll stay at home, and the more ads everybody's watching, the more money we'll make. What we actually found was the reverse, which is the key to AdWallet is scarcity. So you only receive a text when there's an ad that's a match for you. Otherwise, AdWallet runs in the background of your phone. So our goal is actually that individuals might get 2 ads a week. In fact, we ran a survey of our AdWalleters, and we found if they get 2 ads a week, they'll never get rid of their AdWallet. So it's not a mechanism to sit at home and watch a Choice Hotels ad and then their competitor's ad. We only alert you when your actual value ready, and then you engage. So it's about scarcity. To your point, right now we wouldn't say, well, we'll never run a Choice Hotels ad and then on the next day not get an ad for Expedia. We don't have that control on it yet. We're just saying, hey, they want to buy your attention. If they want to buy your attention, we'll send you the text. You'll click on it, and if you're interested in providing your attention for exchange of money, do it. If not, it just goes away. Yeah.
How's it going, Adam? I'm Willis from Fluent. I'm just curious, where are you primarily getting your users, either to your mobile website or to your app, from an acquisition standpoint?
Good question. So obviously our goal is to get as many people on AdWallet. The more people on AdWallet, these are individually addressable into beings. We currently have a partnership with Google. We're able to onboard a new member on AdWallet for about 70 cents. So that's a really fun number. That's a great number for our investors who are like, okay, let's go get 25 million people on AdWallet and make this a truly addressable system. So right now we advertise heavily on within the Google products. We also found that people love their AdWallet, so they refer it a lot. About 10% of our members come from referral. If you have an AdWallet, you can refer your friends for $1. And what people are basically saying is, hey, it only alerts me when it has free money for me. And the money people actually have found out is not a ton of money. It's not about like, this isn't like a side gig. It's more, the money's nice. You owed it to me anyway. It's my attention you're trying to buy. But along the way, I then paid attention to the Burger King ad. I then understood, that you're launching whatever, and I actually was able to engage in it. Thank you very much. That was the value. The money for watching the minute ad was almost the ante, if you will. It's like, yeah, well, why should I give you any of my time if you're not giving anything to me directly?
Okay. I mean, we could be here for a while, I think, but
yeah, I'll be here for 2 days, and usually there's a lot of questions. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Are you solo, Adam? Are you by yourself here?
It's just me.
Okay,
yeah.
this time around.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Big round for Adam. Thank you very much. Great job.